So if you want to start, tell me who you are and who Mitch was.
Hi, I'm Michelle Blake. I'm here to talk to you about my son Mitchell. We lost our son Mitchell 5 years ago, and this is still really painful to talk about and hard to understand still the pain our family feels. My husband Bruce and myself and his brother Brandon and sister Bridget made up the family of 5, and Mitch was a great kid. He was funny and loving and a real jokester, had a lot of one-liners, but he was also shy too. But he had a great childhood. He enjoyed spending time with his brother and sister and cousins out at the Walton racetrack, riding dirt bikes and motocrossing and four-wheelers, and
Which is where we are today.
which is where we are today. This is the perfect spot for this. So he loved this place and they had a lot of fun here. I think things all changed for Mitch when he was 18. He was in a three-wheeler accident with a close friend, and that friend died as a result of the accident. I think he blamed himself for that accident and never really dealt with it. He was very closed up. He wouldn't talk, but that's kind of the way our family has been, and my husband's family and my family, and the way things were in the past. You just didn't talk about things and your feelings, and so I think he buried a lot of those feelings deep inside, and a lot of it was pain. Our whole family felt pain, and we couldn't really deal with it. We just all felt so awful, and hindsight, I think that's probably one of the things we shouldn't have done. We should have, forced everybody to talk about it. And today things are better that way, and I'm happy about that. So after that, Mitch, I think he drank some alcohol, and because it made him feel better and made him less shy, and
Coped how he could.
that's how he coped the way he could, and got along fine with his friends. But I think our family never realized how deeply he was affected by that loss, and how it affected his mental health. I think that's when he started suffering a lot of depression and anxiety, and then years later it turned into using some other substances and drugs and alcohol to help him cope and feel better and not think of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually it affected his job and his relationship with his friends and with his family. So
Really, every aspect of life, right?
every aspect of life, yeah. He just wasn't open to talking to people and getting help, and then things just kind of spiraled out of control and ended up getting worse and worse with him, and we just didn't understand how bad it was, and we really didn't know how to help him. We hadn't really dealt with this before, hadn't dealt with any substance abuse issues in the family, and I myself accessed the Here in Perth crisis hotline. I contacted Choices for Change for myself, and ended up getting counseling for myself, and in turn trying to help the rest of my family understand, and encouraged my son to get some help and counseling, but he just didn't really seem open to it, and even when things were at their worst, he
And that's something that we see a lot particularly with people who are struggling, that were in Mitch's age group, is a kind of a resilience to getting help, to accessing help. And
right.
Yourself, why do you think that may be?
I think it was probably part of his pride, part of the fact that he felt he couldn't be helped, and that he wasn't worthy for help, that he just felt so bad about things that had happened, and over the last how many years, things that he maybe did that he shouldn't have did, and things that were just out of character for him that he would never have done, you know, if he had been in better state of mental health. It just was hard. I think our family still carries grief and guilt that we didn't understand how things were affecting him, and that we didn't understand how to help him. So we're trying to even help ourselves. So that's one thing that I would like other parents not to have to feel, that they can have resources and understand mental health before it gets to the point of no return, where it's just so bad that they can't help themselves. And that's one of my big things. I'd like to be able to help parents.
It can't be understated how it affects everybody in the family, not just the person who might be struggling with their mental health or struggling with substance use. It affects the entire family.
Yes, the whole family. I was just feeling his pain eventually and trying to figure out how to help him, and coping with the moods and the outbursts and just all the not so good things that happen, you know. It hurts everybody, and I know he was not wanting anybody in the family to be hurt, and they just lash out at others. Now I know, because they have so much pain inside themselves and they're so hate themselves. And that's what I realized after the fact, which I had known long ago. I thought he was acting out against us, but it's not us. He loved his family, and he knew we loved him.
So what a lot of people always say with that anger is a secondary emotion, that if someone's angry, they're almost always masking for another feeling, whether it's sadness within themselves for something that's happened.
And hurting themselves so much that's the way the anger comes out.
And Mitch loved motocross.
He loved motocross, and to keep his memory alive for the last 5 years, we have been sponsoring the outdoor sports camp at Walton. And we sponsor a Learn to Ride Day, or the kids that come get to ride motorbikes in his memory. And that's this t-shirt I have on, and you'll see it on the back. This is our 5th year of sponsoring the camp in his memory, because like I say, he loved to ride dirt bikes, and this was my son Brandon and my daughter Bridget's idea that this is something we could do to help kids and do something he loved. And so we feel good about that, and we hope to continue that in some form. So
being able to do something like this in memory of him is amazing.
Yes, and to remember all the good things about Mitch, you know, not the hard times he had.
You make me tear
up. And that's how we cope, by helping others, and we're still working through it, you know. It's still so hurtful that can't even fathom that it could happen, you know. He's such a great guy and had so many friends, and, you know, just didn't feel worthy. So anyways, if we can help other parents, because like I say, I was blindsided. I know my husband was. We just didn't understand. We didn't understand what was happening till it was, you know, things were so bad, you know, because we just never dealt with anything like this. So
for if anything, thinking back, what kind of resources, or I guess what kind of learning do you wish or hope that people that might go through something like Mitch did have in their life, so they might have a better understanding of what kind of help they could receive?
Well, I think the Tanner Steffler Foundation is helping people with that, going to these where the people talk about their experiences.
So the conversations.
Yeah, the conversations that you have been holding. Because I find that very helpful, and you can hear other parents talk about
their own experiences,
and just learning more and more about it. Like I say, I've learned so much more after the fact, which is just not the way you want to do it, you know. You know, if I had known things I had known, you know, and you'd hope that you could have helped and made something be different. But you know, but definitely organizations like the Tanner Steffler Foundation, anything to do with mental health association that can, substance abuse, Choices for Change, any of those things that can shed light on early warning signs of things that you could look for. You know, we saw signs, but we didn't understand them. You know, we really didn't until someone said, oh, I think this is happening, I think that is happening. Oh, and we're like, you're kidding, you know? So, yeah, I just want other parents to be a little bit wiser than we were, you know, and not have the struggles we had, so.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I don't think so. That was good to talk about it, and I know Mitch would want to help other people too, so, and our family sure does, so thank you.
Thank you.